So are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. She is back. Patriots, gaytriots, and theytriots. All right, listen up. In Trump's America, it's important. You know, on our other podcast, iHip News, we talk about all of the insanity that's going on. But on this podcast, I've had it. It's a time to laugh and be cynical and be a staple in Asshole Island. Pumps, what have you had it with?
Okay, what I've had it with is my iPhone, and not just because I hate Tim Cook right now, but because I hit Do Not Disturb, and it has in the Focus app, it schedules when you want to be on Do Not Disturb. So I've scheduled it from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. It never comes on, not once. I've turned it off. I've turned it on. I've had Kylie double check. I've gone in and scheduled personal, and I still am getting flashes in the middle of the night when like news stories hit or notifications. And I've had it, and this has been going on for weeks. I've done everything I know to do. I would normally say it's me, the operator, I'm the problem, but I had Kylie look, and she couldn't figure it out either.
Okay, here's what we're going to do with this story. We're going to move the goalpost here in a little bit, just a bit, and say this started on January 20th. This problem.
That's exactly when it started.
It started on January 20th, and Apple has gone to hell in a handbasket, and this is what happens in Trump's America.
That's right.
Meemaw, who is already technologically deficient,
Very.
to say the least. And then you've got an entire oligarchical despot hijacking your phone and waking you up in the middle of the night with these ridiculous news stories. I am so sorry, because we all know at your advanced age how important your sleep is for you.
I need all the beauty sleep I can get because we're going straight down. I mean, gravity has spoken, and I need all the help I can get. And I don't know what to do. I mean, it's not like I'm going to get an Android, but I'm mad about it. It just irritates the shit out of me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. A lot of stuff has happened since January 20th. And let me tell you what's been happening to me ever since January 20th.
Okay.
I've had it with left turn ruiners. Here's what I'm talking about. I'm driving and I need to make a left turn. So I turn on my signal and I'm stopped in the middle of the road, and I'm starting to do the math. I'm like, okay, after the white car, it looks like I'm going to have about a 10-second break, and then I'm going to be able to just, go right in. Then out of nowhere, the white car starts pumping the brakes. Mm-hmm. Not one signal. Not one turn signal. They slow down and then just make this sly, unannounced, unauthorized right turn that completely screws up all of my calculations. Yeah. Then I'm like, nice signal, schmohawk. Way to go, you asshole. And then I'm all wound up.
Right.
Or you have the person that turns out into the lane and completely ruins your calculations. And I have noticed an uptick in left turn saboteurs ever since January 20th. And I was wondering if you'd noticed the same.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I've noticed since January 20th. And this is a lot of it. How bad when you're trying to make a right turn and it's turn on red, you can do it as much as you want, and the person in front of you is going straight and they don't leave you enough room to just skate by and behind him.
The butt squeeze.
Butt squeeze. They block. They're blockers. It's rampant in Trump's America.
It really is. I've noticed that as well. I've noticed that there's just a lack of consideration. I feel like there is, I feel like, we breathe oxygen. I feel like I'm breathing a lot more stupid oxygen.
Oh, I think
Have you felt that?
Yes. And I feel like just the world gets dumber by the day.
Yeah. All right, welcome to I've Had It. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Angie.
She's the star of the show who is not getting much sleep, but you're still beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Okay, Kylie's here with us. Kylie.
Hi.
Do we have any reviews?
We do, and I'm going to start with a 1-star review.
Oh, excellent.
It's titled Bitter from JFerg484, and they write, "This podcast is awful. So much anger because you lost. Get over it."
This podcast is awful. So much. Okay, here's the deal. Had we won, J. Ferg, we'd still be angry and bitter.
100%. I mean, we would still have plenty of things to gripe about. Win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
That's consistent.
Yeah, exactly. All right, who's next?
Okay, this one is 5 stars titled Blend Your Makeup, and that's not at you. If you like makeup, well, this is the podcast for you. As a lesbian who rarely wears makeup, I have learned what not to do. For example, if you're going to wear the Cheeto-colored makeup, blend it. Jennifer makes a very important point to call this terrible atrocity that is happening. Why aren't more of us talking about this? Thank you, Jennifer and Pumps. Keep fighting the good fight.
This is, okay, so listener, viewer, here's where we are right now. This convicted felon, con man, bankrupter of all businesses, throws out so much shit all the time. It's like this, lazy Susan of fuckery, nonstop, day in, day out. And sometimes it just seems like insurmountable to even try to pick one thing off the lazy Susan to tackle.
Right.
So Pumps and I like to focus on something tangible that everybody can get behind, that the majority of Americans would agree upon. And that is, and I've noticed since January 20th, this has gotten worse.
Agree.
The eyebrow, he's going full Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
Kylie, you can put up a picture for our YouTube viewers to see of his most recent press conference. We have grayish white eyebrows, unblended orange makeup. The hair looks crazier. And I just think, is this one thing that Congress could vote on? Like if you're going to wear makeup, male or female, trans, we don't care. Blend it.
Right. Here's the thing. First of all, a profoundly unattractive human from the jump. And then it just gets worse with each makeup outing. And my whole thing is, if I'm a billionaire, I'm going to pay the very best of the best if I'm going to make myself be on TV every day and say completely stupid shit that makes no sense. I'm going to say it in a beautiful, well done face of makeup. When I lie, you're going to say, she might be lying, but God, her makeup looks great. She's done a great job. Instead, you get all the lies, all the BS, and terrible makeup. Like it's a distraction from the distraction of the lies.
I think about this a lot. Like you're 78 years old. You're not a spring chicken. Mm-mm. You're a billionaire. And you're pretty intellectually lazy. Why on earth would you want to be president just to fuck with people? Because that's what he's doing. He's just fucking with people. He's fucking with Black people. He's fucking with poor people. He's fucking with gay people. He's fucking with trans people. And it's like, so we know you're grifting. You have that online flea market where you sell all the riffraffs and knickknacks. So what? You can leave all this money to your kids that you hate? Because, you can tell he doesn't even really like his kids very much.
No. Well, I will tell you, I can answer that question. Had he not won the election, he would be going to both federal prison and then state prison because he is a criminal. He would have been tried and convicted. There's no doubt in my mind.
This is why I'm an atheist.
What'd I say?
That had he not won, he would have gone to prison because if there was a God, that would have happened.
Right.
That would have happened.
You're right.
Okay. Let's read some non-political news real quick before we dive into our episode. And here's a story I thought Pumps might find entertaining. Mum, M-U-M. Mum sends 5 smelly kids to school, saying skipping baths won't harm them. Australian blogger Constance Hall explained that taking care of a large family requires her to make compromises, and giving her kids a daily bath isn't one of her priorities. To save time, she skips their baths on certain days, which she believes is completely fine. Fine, go to school smelly and let everyone deal with it, Constance said in a post on Mamma Mia back in 2019. She added, I honestly can't be bothered bathing everyone every night, and backed up her choice by referencing advice from the American Academy of Dermatology, which say that kids aged 6 to 11 only need to bathe once or twice a week unless they are dirty, sweaty, or have a skin issue. Constance says, I know they look cuter when they're clean and smell fresh, but honestly, missing a night bath or a morning shower a couple times a week isn't going to hurt them. What are your thoughts on this?
Here's my thing. I completely get if they don't smell, but if they're going to school and they smell, they're going to be bullied. So I would be far more worried about how their friends and peers would react than I would to her time schedule. If her kids are age 6 to 11, they can take a shower. Like they don't need her. So while I agree, I don't think you have to bathe them every night if they don't smell, but don't put them in a situation where they can be bullied. That's what I think.
I agree with that. I agree that they probably don't have to have a bath every single day. My kids did. It was just a part of like the winding down ritual.
It was something to do.
Yes. And it was just a winding down, like routine ritual type thing.
Same.
But once they hit, I think my kids hit 5 or 6, they were bathing on their own.
Yeah. I don't understand why she's not just throwing him in the shower.
I don't know why you're giving a 11-year-old a bath. I think that's really weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think I get what she's saying
That's
about.
more alarming for me is the age group. A 6 to 11, you're bathing a 6-year-old to an 11-year-old. You're bathing a titty baby that needs to take a bath or a shower by themselves.
100%.
And here, let's face it, a 6-year-old isn't drowning in a bathtub.
No. And if you're worried about it, throw them in the shower. It's just not that hard.
Okay, next up. Doctors say that people should not be on the toilet for longer than 10 minutes. Doctors warn that spending over 10 minutes on the toilet may contribute to significant health risks, such as heightened likelihood of hemorrhoids and weakened pelvic muscles. Prolonged sitting combined with gravitational pressure can impair blood circulation, straining veins and rectal muscles. To prevent these issues, experts recommend minimizing distractions like phone use in the bathroom and prioritizing a diet rich in fiber and hydration to promote healthy bowel habits. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm a get in and get outer. I don't linger on the potty. I go in, I do my business, I get done. So I can't really relate. Like if I take a big steaming dump, the last thing I want to do is sit in it. I want to get in, I want to get out, I want to be done. So I don't, and then maybe this makes me a very simple person, but they're describing all these bad things that happen when you sit on the toilet for more than 10 minutes. What about if you like sitting in this chair for more than 10 minutes? Is that bad, or is it just because your ass is hanging out?
I think, in the toilet, you've got some cheek spreadage.
Oh, yeah, the spread.
Pressure down
right
on the rectum that's maybe a little different because like right now you're kind of, the cheeks are pushed together.
Right.
I'm no doctor. I'm no scientist. I'm no researcher, but I'm pretty sharp when it comes to deduction skills. And that would be my thing is the toilets are kind of,
they're meant to spread it.
Spread. My thing on this is a male problem.
Agree.
Men spend way too much time sitting on the toilet. I remember when my kids were really little and it would be the weekend and that's where I would like, Josh, you need to do some stuff with them because I did most of the stuff during the week. And he would have to go take a shit. And I'm talking 30, 45 minutes would go by. And it's just, and I would say, there's no way that it takes this long. It's just not possible. And then this is an aside that we have to talk about. You and Josh are the only 2 people I know who don't have any sense whatsoever of safe potty syndrome.
Yeah, no, if I have to go, I have to go. It's just, that's when it's going to happen.
I mean, you've gone in like that tire store.
Yeah. Now, I'm not as liberal as I used to be because I'm not as regular, but make no mistake. If there is a need to poop in a 7-Eleven bathroom and that's all she wrote, I'm happy to do it.
I can't
stop
multiple times.
I can't squeeze my cheeks in and stop it.
Josh and I were walking into the U.S. Open tennis tournament, New York City. So excited, get off the subway. We're walking, down to Arthur Ashe Stadium. And as we're going through security, Josh looks around, he gets this big smile on his face. And I thought he was going to be like, this is amazing. And he goes, okay, now I just need to find a restroom so I can go take a shit. It was like almost like that place was a fire hydrant and like taking a shit there. And I remember thinking, if I had to take a shit on my way to the U.S. Open, I could hold it until all the way to made it back to the hotel room.
So you can really hold it like that?
Yeah.
See, I just can't. I cannot. I've never been able to.
I can. I will go. I mean, it has to be a dire situation for me to go number 2 in public. I mean, we have to have a 911 situation, and it's been very rare that I have to do that. Most of the time, I can make an exit strategy to get home.
I'm very impressed by that amount of self-control. Because, I just have to do it when I do it.
Listener, this may come as a total shock to you, but Pumps and I have not always been this pulled together and rock solid. In fact, we used to be rather screwed up, wouldn't you say, Pumps?
I would say damn near psychotic.
Totally. And we have written a cell phone expose. One could even say it's a manifesto. And the book title is
Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches.
In all sincerity, we share a lot of our struggles that led us to this grand stage where we can talk about petty grievances. You can click the link below in the show notes to pre-order your copy now. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just the house or property. It's the location and neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also schools, nearby parks, and transportation options. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking deep. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with the sales history of each agent. So, when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know, all in one place. Homes.com. We've done your homework. Listener, Pumps and I recently changed the vendor that we were using for our merch for our podcast, but we didn't have to change one thing, and that one thing is Shopify. Shopify has always been there for us, no matter how small or big we want to be. It is an amazing partner for anyone's business.
Shopify makes the overwhelming easier, and it is so reliable. It is the best business partner.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not so secret with Shop Pay that boasts conversions of up to 50%. Listener, upgrade your business and get the same checkout that we use. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/hadit, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/hadit to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/hadit. I want to move on to, remember when Kamala first announced her candidacy?
Yes.
And she launched the Kamala HQ?
Yep.
And they were kind of bullying conservatives, calling them weird, and just like kind of making fun of how stupid they are. And I loved it. And everybody loved it. Everyone on Twitter was like, oh my God, yes, we can finally bully conservatives. And so today's episode, what we're going to do is bully MAGA.
My favorite.
Yeah, I thought it'd be really fun. Kylie has prepared some videos and found some MAGA lunacy online for all of us to laugh at.
Well, I know Kylie is just fantastic in every way, but finding MAGA lunacy on the internet doesn't make her a research specialist. But, I love you, Kylie.
I think you did a great job, despite Pumps poo-pooing your efforts.
Thank you.
I'm not poo-pooing her effort, but I'm saying
for
it's like
the production time and care that you put into this episode. She's a millennial. Her feelings are softer than ours.
I know, but it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Like if you can't find lunacy on MAGA on the internet.
Yeah, but it's having to look at all of it. By the end of the day yesterday, I felt brain dead from watching these people.
Did you felt defeated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The first one is at a MAGA rally, and we are interviewing Trump supporters.
We're trying to get a feel for people where they stand on the issues. Do you believe schools should be teaching critical race theory?
No.
Why not?
I feel like, honestly, it brings about more racism, bringing more issues around that don't need to be.
What is critical race theory for people that don't understand it?
See, I really don't even know. I'm assuming... Can you explain it a little bit to me, honestly?
Yeah. I think this is probably 90+% of all of these people at these rallies have no idea what they're against or for. They're like, oh, Trump says be against critical race theory, I'm against it.
Well, they know that when they hear the word race, they know what they are with that.
Okay, that's fair.
So they immediately, but she couldn't she couldn't explain it to her, because if she could speak freely, she would say, because I don't think we should teach people that Black people are as equal to us. That's what that lady wanted to say, but she knows she can't say it. Plus, she doesn't really know what critical race theory is, but she knows she's a racist. She knows it's about race. So it didn't take much for her to connect the dots there. She knows that if you're a racist, Trump's your guy.
Right.
And these fucking morons. All right, Kylie, who's next?
Okay, this one is interviewing on the street right after Donald Trump's most recent inauguration.
A lot of people are upset that Martin Luther King wasn't there. Were you surprised to see that he wasn't at the inauguration?
Yeah, I was.
Why? Martin Luther King wasn't in attendance. Were you disappointed that he didn't show up?
Yeah, I was disappointed because he should show respect for the office of the presidency.
Do you think Martin Luther King not showing up for the inauguration is going to lead to him being banned from Mar-a-Lago?
I don't think so. Donald Trump's not like that. He's not going to do that just because somebody didn't show up to his inauguration.
You think you'll still let him in Mar-a-Lago?
Absolutely.
You should, since people don't know, but the Mar is short for Martin Luther King.
Yep.
Okay, a couple things. Obviously, the last guy has never even known or read anything about Trump. He is the most petty, vindictive, mean, cruel, vile human. Of course, he would ban Martin Luther King from Mar-a-Lago if he were alive. And that's the kicker with these people. It wasn't one. I mean, how many people do you think were just like, yeah, he should have come to the inauguration? Like, that's a real problem.
It's, to me, like, this group of people are so willfully uninformed, and they don't know what they're talking about. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump speaks to their racist default settings. And if you have to run around saying stuff like, I don't see color and I'm not a racist, and quit calling me a racist, you're probably a racist.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Kylie, what's next?
Okay, this next one is covering DEI at a rally, and it's from Jimmy Kimmel.
Do you think we should ban DEI?
I think so.
You do?
I think so. I think that we should take control over everything. I mean, Donald Trump needs to rearrange everything.
Including DEI?
Everything.
For people that don't understand, what is DEI?
Well, they need to really dig in and find out what it is.
Everybody needs to figure
everybody
it out.
eats hamburgers, but nobody knows where the meat is coming from. So find out what kind of meat you're eating.
It's cows.
But
and that's what the DEI is.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
You know what I like about that guy? He didn't miss a beat. They've got to dig in. They've got to dig in. You know, people are eating hamburgers. Nobody knows where it's come from. She's like, cows. He's like, exactly.
Yeah.
Just, he never broke character of the confidence that he was feigning. He stayed in character the entire time.
And he sold it better than most.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to give it to him. He made you think maybe he really kind of does know what DEI is, but then no.
I didn't think that.
I thought he's smart enough, though, not to tell you that he knows.
I didn't get smart vibes from
No,
that.
I'm just saying, like, most of them were like, what's DEI? Oh, I hate DEI. Well, do you know what it stands for? Fucking Trump doesn't know what it stands for.
Okay, Kylie, who's next?
Okay, the last one is from The Daily Show, and they are asking Trump supporters about MAGA.
What year was America great?
When it was founded.
Except for the slavery stuff.
Except for the slavery stuff, you know?
I think we were probably our strongest immediately post-World War II.
So around the 1950s?
Yeah, mid-40s, 50s.
I mean, I think the 50s was great other than, segregation and women's rights.
Look, we could sit here and paint negative faces of all times in America.
Correct.
You know, only white people would say that. That's a uniquely white perspective to say those specific eras, and would say, oh, you can paint negatives all you want. That is a white male. You know 100% that only exists with that group of people.
There's no question about it. I mean, women aren't like, oh, yes, please make it where I can't have my own bank account. That's what I want. Black people aren't saying, oh, please make it where we have to drink at a different water fountain. You're right. It's the white privilege.
Okay. So here are some posts on the internet. And these are MAGA self-owns. And a gal tweets, before QAnon, no one had ever told me that I was intelligent, that my voice was important, or that my story mattered. And now I have friends all over the world that share my values and offer support. The greatest gift that Q ever gave us was each other. Where we go one, we go all.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Well, I think what I've read about this is cults give people a sense of community.
Right.
And a lot of these people are broken, lonely. Here she says her own words. No one had ever told her she was intelligent.
Right.
So probably not the sharpest tool in the shed. And she goes and finds a sense of community and belonging. And so half the time, getting people deprogrammed from this MAGA cult would also be stripping them of their support system, right. Albeit a negative, toxic, dangerous one. We still crave as a species this sense of belonging and community.
Yeah, I think that that's a lot of this QAnon because honestly, I mean, here's the thing. Like you said, everybody wants camaraderie, compassion. You're probably not very smart. You probably don't have a lot of social interaction. And now you've got somebody that thinks you're the smartest in the group and you both believe the same conspiracy theories. What I have been the most surprised about is how many people believe in like serious conspiracy theories. I just wasn't aware that like over 40% of the population is all in on conspiracies.
Yeah, but think about, you spent the first 2 to 3 decades of your life believing that the earth was 5,000 years old.
Touche.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
Millions of people believe conspiracy theories every day. They're just accepted and normalized. There are people that believe literally that there was a snake talking in the Garden of Eden, that Jonah lived in a whale, and they believe this, but it's been accepted and normalized as, oh, those are okay to believe. That insanity is okay to believe. So when that sets the psychological soil, when you've believed for multiple decades everything anti-science, it's not that big of a jump to extend those same crazy beliefs and absorb new ones. To me, it makes perfect sense that the through line from, believing, denying facts all through your rearing, early adulthood, and then you end up in a QAnon. To me, it's like the perfect extension of, think about the most religious people you personally know. They're Trump supporters.
100%.
Yeah.
The biggest Bible bangers, Jesus is Lord, are the meanest.
And it's a through line to easily, to deny facts and believe conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I had never even thought of that.
Stick with me. I got you covered.
Lots of hot takes today.
Okay, Whoa Vicky posted, why does Democrat have the word demon in it? Readers added context. So this is like one of those community responses or whatever it's called. Readers added context. It does not. Because there's no N in Democrat.
Yeah, I just had to spell it through in my head right when that came out. I was like, what?
Okay. AKA Face Hots posts, Donald Trump arrested and shot. Alex Jones sued for his entire net worth. Andrew Tate arrested. Tristan Tate arrested. Pavel Durov arrested. Yay. Frozen assets. Elon sued. Meanwhile, not a single Democrat has been touched.
Oh my gosh. Like, here's the thing. Like, I get people, Trump has sold the bill of goods that, everything's stacked against him. He's a victim. It's a witch hunt, fake news. But when you are defending the Tate brothers, like, come on. I can't remember who else was on that list, but I mean,
you got, a couple of Nazis.
Right. I mean, come on,
Kanye
guys.
West and Elon. But here's the most hilarious part is that they believe that they don't see that this is a false equivalency.
Right.
In their mind, they come from a position that everybody is immoral and breaks laws and would cheat because that's what they all do. So that's one standard. And then he says, meanwhile, not a single Democrat has been touched. And it's like, because they don't crime at the rate that all of these blowhards do. I mean, I think that Senator Menendez was just sentenced to jail, and it's not true that Democrats don't, but particularly MAGA Republicans, in my opinion, appear to commit crimes, specifically crimes against women.
Yes.
And
financial
at a rate that no other political movement I've ever seen does.
Well, I wonder why. Shit rolls downhill.
Okay. And then here we have a tattoo where this woman has tattooed on her back, Jesus trumps everything. And for those of you that are listening, not watching, it has like Trump with the American flag with a little S. Jesus and Trump are everything. And the T in everything is a Christian cross.
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me see. Yeah, sure is.
And I just, the marriage of these evangelical Christians and Trump is just like, it's like straight out of central casting. You couldn't put two groups of people together. I mean, they are one, unified in the exact same thing. They all need money all the time. Like if you listen to an evangelical Christian, it's like Jesus is broke.
Right.
Always asking for money. Who else is always asking for money? Trump. Oh, you know what I read?
What?
A lot of his donors, like small time donors, are signed up to like donate $15 a month for the campaign. They're still giving to him, even though he's president.
Of course they are. And he's, I'm sure, still pocketing it. Here's the deal. The grifting, the sexism, the racism, they're the perfect marriage.
Okay. Ultra MAGA Kimmy posts, why do you honestly think white people are racist? I want facts. And John Fugelsang responds, where was Barack Obama born, please? And she responds, Kenya.
Nailed it, Ultra MAGA Kimmy.
I mean, it's just amazing how he was able to just, it's lost on her.
Lost.
It's completely lost on her. Her racism is so cooked in to who she is. As a default setting, it just comes right out.
No, she doesn't even, she thinks she owned him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's walking away going, let me show you this, Q buddies.
Pumps, let's be honest, it's so difficult to find food that isn't hidden with sugars, artificial ingredients, misleading labels. It's hard to know what is actually good for us, what's good for our kids. That's why I personally love Thrive Market. It's like having a personal guide to healthier living for my entire family. Thrive Market makes it simple to find trusted, family-friendly brands without spending hours at the grocery store, from snacks and school lunches to pantry staples. Everything they offer is 100% non-GMO.
What I like about Thrive Market is I get in a rut and I buy the same things over and over. And with the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app, it recommends healthier and cleaner food for what I'm used to buying. It's a game changer.
Listener, are you ready for a junk-free start to 2025? Head to thrivemarket.com/hadit and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/hadit. thrivemarket.com/hadit.
Addie.
Hey ladies, did you know that one of the most common complaints from women about their sexual health is a frustratingly low libido? Our sex drives can decline, but it's also treatable. Addie or flibanserin is FDA approved and has been clinically proven to increase sexual desire in certain premenopausal women who are bothered by a low libido. So if you feel like you've lost your desire and you want to get it back, stop falling for the snake oils and ask your doctor today about Addie. Go to Addie.com. That's ADDYI.com.
Addie is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addie is not for use in men or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addie dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addie at bedtime. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is also increased if you take certain prescriptions, over-the-counter or herbal medications, or have liver problems. Low blood pressure and fainting can happen when you take Addie even if you don't drink alcohol or take other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of the ingredients in Addie. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching or trouble breathing. Sleepiness, sometimes serious, can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including box warning at addie.com/PI, or call 844-PINK-PILL.
Ask your doctor about Addie today. That's ADDYI.com. Okay, Kylie, I think we have some voice memos.
We do. We've got a couple voice memos relating to MAGA idiocy. And up first, we've got Rihanna.
Hey ladies, Ree is back in the house. Third time on the show, hopefully. Very lucky and honoured, so thank you very much. And ladies, you get more beautiful every day. So what I wanted to say actually was what I've had it with, and my final what I've had it with is the US elections. How the fuck have you, obviously not you girls because you're gay patriot and naturets, have elected a pile of orange hammered dog shit who shits himself in public, doesn't care for anyone else's sense of smell, his wife who says that he's not on ketamine, and you want to tell that to your face off because your jaw's having a party with itself. I've had, since the 5th of November, I've had a resting heartbeat of 220 and I'm having to breathe in a brown paper bag because I can hyperventilate at any point. And in between that, I'm shouting, fuck! So thank you very much for voting for him.
I mean, here's the thing, world. Like, it's wild because I see the United States and Trumpism exactly through the same lens that you do.
Right.
I'm just in it. I'm in the picture. And it's so difficult. Like recently, the Canadians are all united and they're like,
Right.
we fuck the United States. Let's everybody band together and not buy their products anymore and stand up against fascism and stand up against this tyrant dictator. Go Canada. I'm like jealous and envious that they're all united in that cause because I see exactly what the problem is. I see exactly how he is perceived. I see the headlines across the globe where they're calling this man stupid and an idiot. And his mental capacities are so completely compromised. That's never covered in the press.
Never.
You hear him ramble on about Hannibal Lecter and all that shit. It's just, I just am very sorry to the entire world that the United States has fostered an ability for millions of Americans to be dumb and vote for stupid people.
Yep. Stupid people that are criminals and hateful and racist and cruel, and then hook up with Elon Musk, who just might be the worst of all.
Kylie, who's next?
Up next, we've got Jess from Australia.
Hey guys, it's Jess from the Gold Coast. I love the pod. What I fucking had it with is I work in Coles, which is like one of the major supermarkets in Australia, and I fucking had it with old men wearing Maga hats relentlessly into the store. But I'd like to inform you guys, and I hope this brings you as much joy as it brings me, that every time one of these Maga hat wearers enter the store, it becomes my personal mission to make their experience the absolute worst I can provide. Whether that's death stares, providing them the wrong instructions to find products, parking my trolley that I online shop for in front of something they're trying to grab in the shelf. I am just rude and unpleasant because my motto is, if you are proudly not caring about anyone else but yourself, why should I care about you? Thanks, guys.
It's a great point.
I'm telling you what, these Australians, they kill it. They know.
Well, here's what's just fascinating to me. People that don't live here.
Right.
And can just sit back and watch this shit show are willfully signing up to make America great again. And you live in Australia. That is a level of stupidity that tortures me that exists. I get that you're an American and you were educated in this country and probably went to some mega church and had to deal with all the fuckery of nonstop capitalism and not having health care and feeling like you never get a fair shake. I can understand the vacuum that exists that lit the match that caused MAGA. I cannot understand an Australian male that's probably never been to the United States of America trafficking in this bullshit. That blows my mind.
It blows my mind. Didn't we see or hear, didn't we get a voice memo or an email from somebody that there's been an uptick in MAGA hats in parts of Canada?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I think that's probably going to come to a screeching halt with this tariff stuff.
That's stopped.
I think that what it shows is that these online indoctrination cults is a very serious thing, like this QAnon, and they rope people in by like the grooming, like something that everybody can get behind. Like QAnon people think they're so universally unique that they oppose pedophilia and molestation.
Right.
And here's my thing. It is a foregone conclusion. Everybody opposes pedophilia except for pedophiles.
Right.
I don't have to wake up every morning and announce to the world I oppose grooming and pedophilia because it is a foregone conclusion. I simply don't think about it every waking hour of every waking day because I know that there are agencies and departments that handle that. It's horrific. It is terrible. But they rope these people in with these basic things. But I just think that when you have like these church organizations, all these priests, all these QAnon people worried about pedophilia, I just think underneath all of that, there's probably pedophiles.
Well, I mean,
that's just what I think. It's my gut.
If they're so worried about pedophilia, why is the Catholic Church still around? Why isn't QAnon against the Catholic Church or any other church that you have?
Scouts.
The Boy Scouts. Like if you're so anti-pedophile, which everybody is, like you said, nobody universally thinks that pedophilia is good. Right. You don't have to tell anybody that. Like you said, it's a foregone conclusion, master of the obvious. But if you're that mad about it and you want to get that riled up, put your ire where it belongs against these priests or these
Southern Baptists,
all these, Nazarenes, name one.
Yeah, that's where
your ire should be.
It's crazy. I mean, when I think about this, I just still can't believe it. And I've said it on this podcast before, and I'll say it again. When I think about that the Catholic Church is still up and running and in business after it was revealed a decades-long child rape organization and cover-up across multiple countries where child rapists were enabled and protected to the tune of millions of victims worldwide. A study shows that just in France alone, there was 500,000 victims. And that causes generational damage when these people have their own families. The fact that didn't shut down the Catholic Church will forever blow my mind. And it shows me that at the end of the day, people don't have really, really strong convictions like they think they do.
I would agree with that. And I also think indoctrination and denial is powerful.
Right.
And these people have denied, just like me growing up in the super fundamentalist evangelical, it's not up to you to question or critically think. You accept what you're told, and that's that. So, these people think that it's a sin to talk about the church, leave the church, talk about the priest or whatever.
But that's a cult.
Well, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying they're so conditioned because of indoctrination from such an early age. I don't even think they realize that I am allowing this. I am enabling this because they think they're doing the right thing because they prayed about it.
I can't believe it. I mean, as a parent, you know, if something like that happened to your child with a trusted person, the fact that you would still continue to give money and participate in an organization. And then if you found out, they fucking knew.
Right.
They knew, and they moved priests from one place to a new place, a whole new slew of victims, and covered up and enabled it. How you could continue to be a part of that is a level of cognitive dissonance that I cannot understand. It like goes against what I'm genetically encoded to be as a mother, which is like a fierce protector. And I just, it blows my fucking mind more than the Australians wearing MAGA hats is that the Catholic Church is still open for business. All right, Kylie, who's next?
Okay, the last one is from Mac.
Hi, Jen and Pumps. Love your podcast. Been listening to it from day one. I have had it with being visually assaulted by Cybertrucks. I am currently driving right now, which I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm not texting and driving like Pumps does. And you can't go anywhere anymore without seeing those ugly ass Cybertrucks. And all of the Musk bros think that they're the sexiest cars or trucks in the world when they are so fucking ugly. I have never been so visually assaulted in my entire life. Between those and Kia Souls, the roads are covered with just ugly trucks. And you know what? The people that drive those Cybertrucks are also ugly. And I've just had it. And I think that driving a Cybertruck now is equivalent to wearing a MAGA hat. And I think it's an issue. It's an epidemic. And it needs to be stopped. Anyways, love you guys. Keep going with this great podcast. Hope you see this.
I think it's worse than wearing a MAGA hat, and here's why. Elon Musk, the day that Donald Trump was inaugurated, January 20th, this episode is coming full circle, listener. January 20th, he stood on stage and did 2 Sig Heils. Mm-hmm. And what that represents historically is so horrific. And the fact that people think that he is cool and would buy his merchandise is right up there with what I was talking about with the Catholic Church, having zero conviction. And the fact that that news story, these people do so much fucked up, evil shit day in and day out, that kind of lived for a day or two. And then they just replace it with a bunch more evil, fucked up shit that further marginalizes people is so horrific to me. But I think if you saw that Sig Heil, and you know what that means, and you're not a dipshit, and you drive a Tesla, fuck you. I think it is these people are Nazis. This is abhorrent. People keep making space and room to move around morally and mentally and all the gymnastics that they have to do to support these evil fucking billionaires. And it is disgusting. It's disgusting to me that people don't have the backbone or the courage to stand up to these evil fuckers. It blows my mind.
Yeah, I'm not going to be quite as intellectual as you, but when I see a Cybertruck, I immediately know they have a small penis. There's no question, because no motherfucker gets in that ugly ass car that isn't trying to overcompensate for something going on between his legs. I mean, that's just my opinion. When I see these Cybertrucks, I take a good look at the driver, and I can my small penis gaydar goes off, or my small penis radar, off the charts.
Everything with you always goes back to the penis size.
But the bigger the truck, the smaller the penis. And that thing is just awful. I'm telling you.
No, it's awful.
We could line them up.
No, it's awful. I can't believe the brazen openness of Nazism since January 20th. I mean, it started before then, Charlottesville, but it has escalated at such a rate. And that is just so disturbing to me that certain individuals, companies, and brands wouldn't completely distance themselves immediately from the Trump administration after that act and the attempted gaslighting to the public that he meant what he meant or what he didn't mean is such bullshit. And I hate him. And I just think you're the richest man on the planet, and this is how you spend your spare time.
Right.
That's it. Think
and
about
you have 10
that.
kids. You should have lots to
It's
do.
11 kids.
11 kids.
I mean, think about that. You're the richest man on the planet, and this is what you do. It's not making a foundation to help people. You're taking U.S. aid away
from people.
You're harming people. It's literally like, this Kylie in an episode, IHIP episode recently called him a supervillain. And that's what it's like. It's like some character, the world's richest man doing evil shit to hurt people. It's overwhelming to think about. But the fact that you have brands that, promote Tesla and suck up to Elon Musk and don't have the courage or the moral fortitude to stand up to him is absolutely disgusting to me.
Yeah. And here's the deal. They're lining up to bend the knee to Trump and Musk. They are.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. And Teslas suck. And Cybertrucks are not even attractive.
No, they're horrible.
All right, listen. If you want more politics, follow iHip News. Check out our Patreon. Subscribe to our podcast. Write us a review, and Pumps tell them.
We will see you next Tuesday and Thursday.
I'll tell you what I've had it with. Let's hear it. I've had it with that.
Listen up, patriots, gaytriots, and natriots. We have a new podcast that has dropped. It's called iHip News. It's Monday through Friday, every day, 15 to 20-minute hot takes on the political landscape of the United States of America, always served with a side of petty grievances.
We are on all the available platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever you get your podcasts, and YouTube.
Please go rate, subscribe, and review so that we will chart upwards with America's greatest legal mind. Pumps, what does an eagle say?
Caw-caw.
A little bit more enthusiasm.
Caw-caw.
That's it. That's
caw-caw.
That's the patriotism that this country needs right there.